Okay, this is on a 1968 Scout 800. It had no power steering. When we did the diesel conversion, international travel-alls, two-wheel drive, I believe it's 72 to 73, had the torsion bar suspension. This steering box is out of those travel-alls. It's pretty close to the bolt pattern to bolt it to your Scout is pretty close to the same. I think only had to adjust one hole, and then we also had to adjust the pitman arm. So if you go to the junkyard and find one of those travel-alls with the torsion bar suspension up front, make sure you get the pitman arm as well, because you'll have to modify that a little bit to match the best you can with what the original pitman arm was shaped what was. Once you do that, you have to shorten your drive shaft, your steering shaft on the steering box. On this Scout, it had power steering on this Mercedes when I pulled it. So you see down there, that's the power steering pump that Mercedes puts on their car. So on my Willys Jeep, I put the same motor in my Jeep, the Mercedes, and I just use a power steering pump out of a travel-all. So attach that to your motor, and then the steering box. Here you can see the little adjustment to the pitman arm, so that way you get your drag link as close as straight as you can. Keep that angle not too high. And then when you put power steering on these, of course you have to beef up the bracket, because you'll crack it if you don't. So I just added some extra supports in there. I think it was out right there. So when you bolt it up and it's torquing on there, it won't break. And I just went to Napa and showed them the fittings that I needed, and then they built me hoses, the length that I needed, the fittings that I needed. I brought those in, the measurements and then the fittings, and then they made it according to what I told them. And then I just measured I bought this universal, but of course I counted the teeth on the spline. So I think it was 36. And then got a caliper and measured the diameter of the shaft. And then I just Googled a steering universal joint and found the right diameter and the right spline count. I can't remember what diameter. I think it was 3/4 was the diameter, and I want to say it was 36 spline on there. But that's not hard. But this is fairly inexpensive to do and fairly easy, especially if you know how to weld. It's super easy. And then when we got it from the junkyard, I flushed it probably 10 times. What after it was running through the motor to get all that old stuff out. I got the best I could out before I hooked everything up as well. But it works great. I think the pump was about $100. And then the hoses, of course, aren't very expensive. That universal joint's like $20 or something. It was cheap. And then your Scout has power steering. And you could also, if you have any questions, put a message on here, or Travel-All Man on Instagram, and feel free to ask me any questions. I'd love to share this information and love to help, so feel free to contact me. Hope this helps.